J.A. Stretford, Paddock, that's
Jay.
Stephen Howson. And I don't even want to talk to you, mate, because I don't like you anymore. Because I'm mega jealous that you've just been chatting to Rio Ferdinand and your mates. It is just about 5 minutes after the... Well, not 5 minutes, about half an hour after the United game. Draw 0-0 at Anfield with Liverpool, of course. Stayed top of the table. Could have won it. Had chances. Didn't have a lot of possession. Steve, sum up the game for me. What do you make of it all?
There's a few things I'm pleased with. Clean sheet being one of them, and I know they're struggling to score at home at the moment, but I am pleased with a clean sheet. I'm pleased that the Lindelof gamble, because it was a bloody big gamble.
Yeah.
Eric Bay's been phenomenal of late, and Ole basically was like, "You want some headlines? Here's a fucking headline. I'm just going to drop our probably best defender the last 3 weeks, and see what you all think of that." But I thought Lindelof was probably in with a shout of man of the match. Potentially paid off for him. So I was pleased with that. I was pleased with, as the substitutions were being made, Klopp made 3 like for like. We looked like we were making more offensive sort of substitutions. I like that. I didn't necessarily like how many chances we created. Certainly in the first half, we had one. It was the Bruno free kick, very close. Could have done it. But I think, perspective, you've got to say, look, taking a point at Anfield is a good result. We said this last week, and I said, it is a good result, and a point is a good result. But going there and beating them is a psychological blow, and obviously we didn't manage to get that, and I think we might have needed that. This is a team that doesn't have the confidence of winning titles. It doesn't have the confidence of going on some very impressive runs. It's had some good runs, but not like, wow. And I think we probably needed to have gone and beat them. Even though I'm taking a point, certainly over losing, I actually really think we needed to beat them. If we want to... I don't think we're going to win the league anyway. I think it's City's to lose.
You've been consistent on that.
But I think that if we was going to even put a challenge together, we needed to beat them.
You're going about like we needed to beat them. I get that, and we had chances. Do you think tactically Ollie got it right today? Even though we didn't win, do you think that his tactics were right? It was just a case of we didn't take our chances? Or do you think that he has to look at himself and go, is it a bit of a missed opportunity, the fact that they had 2 defenders missing, 2 big defenders as well, especially with Van Dijk, and maybe we should have been a bit more attacking in our setup?
I think there's at times we could have been a little bit more direct. I think there's at times we could have had a little bit more quality. When you look at the tactical decisions within the game, one of them was putting Pogba onto the right-hand side. I thought it was ripe for Pogba to come in on the blind side of Henderson and get his head onto something. But that cross and those circumstances never really happened. He did win a couple of headers, Pogba, especially at corners, but they didn't really materialise into anything. And Pogba also drifted into that half space, got in the box, got a shot off, straight at Alisson. I mean, me and Ronnie was talking about that a bit ago when we were saying, I've seen a lot of people saying, oh, he's got to go across the goal. And yes, in an ideal world you are, but he had the smallest window to aim for. I said, if anything, and I'll always say, if you get it on target, I ain't going to moan.
Yeah.
Because that's what you got to do. If you miss the target from there, that's not really acceptable. But you hit the target, some go in, some don't. Sometimes it'll ricochet off the inside of the keeper's ankle and you've got a goal. Sometimes it goes over the bar. But you got it on target. If anything, could we lift it? The same with Bruno's. Could he lift it? If he lifts it, it might be a goal. But it's hard enough to get your foot on the direction of that as it's coming in that fast. So, again, it was on target. I can't really complain. I wouldn't have minded seeing us having another 1 or 2 chances in a similar sort of area to that, and I think we wouldn't have nicked one.
Do you see the belief there? You talk about how it gives you that psychological advantage. Do you think the players had that belief today? Do you think it was just a case of it didn't quite come off? You know, we were under the cosh for quite a lot of time. Or do you think there is still a part of this Manchester United team that feels like we're gate crashing the party a little bit?
Probably is a little bit of imposter syndrome because we haven't necessarily cemented our place there with any sustained success. I think in the first half, Marcus Rashford was having that defence on toast, and I think that was us exploiting that defence, but he was offside. A lot.
Yeah.
It was off. I think it was the offside more than any other player's ever been offside for us, which is madness.
It was 7 in total, I think, and my argument was one of them shouldn't have counted. But it was still a lot.
But yeah, I mean, I think if he times his runs a little bit better, because he had the beating of him, he had 3 yards on him. Just wait and then run, because you was going to beat him, or even stay in our half. I think if he could have stayed onside a bit more, that was where our chances were coming in the first half. I thought that there was one of those was going to happen for us because we was beating them constantly. Now, you got to look at a couple of things. Trent was getting absolutely fucking destroyed, and he went and fucked off to left back for a little bit.
Yeah.
There's a few things that we did really well, but maybe didn't continue to pressurise. But you got to remember, this is a team that recently won the Champions League, recently won the Premier League. They got 90 whatever points the year before, and then they're playing depleted at the moment. But it's 2 players. And they've moved Fabinho back, and I think Fabinho's a fucking hell of a footballer. He is a player that's played right back a lot. Let's not pretend that they're playing a left winger centre half.
No, he's a decent centre half.
Of course he is.
There's no disputing that.
Henderson's the one which is you're like, okay, well, he's a defensive midfielder. It's not the craziest thing to sit back, especially in the sort of system that Liverpool have. Certainly in possession, there's no real difference for him.
No.
Defending, that's when you would like to have twisted him up a little bit. That's when I'm minded maybe seeing what Cavani could have done with a little bit longer, maybe, and can we put some of those balls in, because I think the movement of him, certainly inside the box, could have created something. It feels like a wasted opportunity. It really does, because I think that the psychological boost we would have got by fucking smacking them down, sitting top of that league. You've gone to the home of the champions and beat them. What more do you want for title credentials? You know what I mean?
No, I get where you're coming from 100%. I just want to ask you one final question. Just about our attackers, because I think we're talking, this is one sort of 100% of the Marcus Rashford fan club here. He didn't have the best of games today. It didn't really happen for him. Anthony Martial's not really got going this season. Edinson Cavani, it almost feels like we're relying on him all of a sudden when it was someone who we thought was going to play a sort of a cameo role this season. Do you worry at all, our attackers, in terms of the goals, when, if we're looking at it, we do want a title challenge, do you think they're going to give us the numbers that we need for a title challenge, or is that a concern?
I can see why Solskjaer's looking for other number 9s.
Yeah.
I would make a very large case that there's a right winger shaped hole in the squad.
Good point.
And I think Martial's out of form. Rashford's a bit all over the gaff at the minute. And I think he was limited by moving to the right. I think he was just doing a job while he was on the right. He had a couple of opportunities today, but not really any chances today.
Yeah.
There was opportunities there where something could have happened, but he didn't have the chances. So I don't think he necessarily played badly today. I think if you take the offsides out of it, where he could have influenced them a little bit better, yes. But like when he was on the ball, I don't think you go, well, what the fuck was that? And I know that a lot of people are going to say there was an opportunity to play Cavani.
Yeah,
and
I
was
want to ask you about
screaming
that.
at the TV saying, fucking play him in. But then you go, well, do you know what I think he might have been thinking? This midfielder's going to fucking bring me down in the box here.
I think Joe pointed out, we were on the watch along and I was the same as you. I was screaming, he's got to play Cavani in. But when we watched it back again, it was almost like Cavani tried to take the player away from him and didn't really happen. I think Fabinho again read it. And it might not have, I'm going to have to see it again, so, I know people will be hammering the comments, but it wasn't as clear-cut, I think, as
I think the opportunity was there for a chop to coming back on the inside of him.
Yeah.
I think the opportunity was there to play Cavani, or maybe even just get a shot off earlier.
I think early was the key. I think once he took that extra touch, everything
once he started
was gone.
going a little bit wide of the goal.
Yeah, he couldn't play Cavani. He couldn't. But listen, I don't want to make this about bashing him.
This is one instance.
Yeah.
Jamie Vardy missed 7 opportunities yesterday. You had Lionel Messi had 12 fucking shots the other day. People like to compare Marcus to these other strikers and then not give him the same level of opportunities. If he's getting 7 shots, you better fucking believe I'll be telling him he's got to fucking score one of them.
Yeah.
But he didn't get 7 shots. I think, can he do better? Yes, he can. We've got high expectations of him. But it was a tough, tight game where it was scrappy. It's fantastic if someone can get something against the run of play. What do they have, like 70% possession?
It's fucking stupid, wasn't it? At one point, I think it was like 77-23 at one point.
You hope for someone to be able to pull something out of nothing. But let's be honest, we didn't have a fucking bucket load of chances. The 2 biggest chances was Pogba and was Bruno. They both got him on target. I'd argue one was a fucking brilliant bit of luck from the keeper and one was, was a bit straight at him. Outside of that, we didn't really fucking create enough. And as much as I'm taking a draw, I do think the psychological effects of getting 3 points could have resulted in United being in a title charge. Now I think the door is open and Manchester City could come bowling right through it.
Don't do it to us, Steve. Well, we're still top at the minute anyway, and I'm going to enjoy it. That's Stephen Howson. You can check out as well his interview with Rio Ferdinand. That's up on the channel as well, where they were chatting.
Come and get me, Pleater United on it as well.
Come and get me. I know Steve asked him about being a defensive coach for United, and he issues a bit of a plea. So go and check that out, because as I said earlier, I'm mega jealous of this guy over here. Also, if you're not subscribing, hit the subscribe button, give us a like and a share. I've been Jay Marty. That's been Stephen Howson. This has been Stretford Paddock Review. Thanks for watching.